How's it going, everybody? My name is Jason Traub. I'm 27 years old, currently 216 to 218 pounds, depending on the time of day. I am prepping for Junior USA's, which is 7 weeks and 2 days as of today.
What was your last show, buddy?
The last show I did was the Olympia Amateur, and that was the first show I've ever competed at. And so, yeah, now we're gonna. We got top 6, which was our goal going into it, because it was my first show ever and it's a national level show. I was just like, if we can land a first call out, that's best case scenario. And we barely snuck in. It was a 6-man first call out, and I was the 6th man. So it was really exciting. Could not have gone better. And so we're gonna try and ride that momentum into this show and see what we can do. We're a little bit behind schedule. I'm getting more confident every day that we're gonna make it, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. We should be fine.
You're prepping for
Junior USA's, yep. And I was telling Jeff earlier, if we can't make it on time to Junior USA's, no big deal. We'll just option select to the next national, which I think is Junior Nationals. Yep. So that'll just be another 3 to 5 week turnaround. I don't know exactly the date, but something like that.
So talk about your workout today, bud, and the movements.
Oh yeah, so my original plan to go into this workout was I was gonna do like a push arms combo day. We started with I think one of the incline plate loaded machines, and I went, I got a good pump out of it, but I have a little nagging thing in my outer chest here, in my outer pec, so I decided to kind of cool it on push, and we focused mainly on arms. So I had a nice arm pump today. I can go into think of individually what I was doing. There's a lot of curls.
Right.
I did the plate loaded. I did chest flies, I think, next, something like that. And then I went into a whole lot of curls, tricep extensions, just hammered the arms. Got a lot of blood in there. We just had a big dropout in my diet, a big dropout of carbs. My coach pulled probably 1/3 of the amount of carbs I was eating. We dropped out about 80 to 100 carbs, just poof, gone. And so that was 4 days ago. So I'm still kind of recovering from that. It takes me a few days every diet adjustment once the food gets low to kind of feel back to myself. But all things considered, I had a pretty good pump today.
What's your cardio at now for yourself?
Cardio is 40 minutes a day. It's 40 to 60. I get a little bit of leeway depending on, how far. Jeremy kind of lets me go, kind of gauge how I'm feeling, and if I feel like I can push a little harder, he'll let me go. But within 40 to 60 minutes of moderate intensity, so I'm aiming at like a 120 to 135 heart rate.
Is it a hit or is it?
No. It's not hit. Hit. I love hit, but it just I think if I tried to do hit training with the lack of food, I know some guys can do it. I think O'Neill says he does a lot of hit, or has in the past, but I wouldn't be able to train. I would sacrifice my intensity in my training for sure. Hit just eats me up.
Now, do you always go to a push-pull schedule, bud?
No. I've been doing the push-pull legs and then an arm day. I've heard guys call it the bro split, which I think is, and then I've heard memes of it being called a pro split because people call it that, a bro split, but then you look at pros and most pros are doing push, pull, legs, arms. So it's like, is that really a bro split? But yeah, I've been doing that and I really enjoy that. I think the idea behind it is because people say if you do PPL, you're not gonna have the greatest arms. I'm pretty I'm arm dominant, so push pull legs isn't the worst thing ever. But I mean, if adding an arm day anyways, that's gonna take care of that. So, but yeah, I've really been enjoying that. And my training style is normally more total sets per exercise. It'll be like 4 to 5, but actual working sets, it's 1 to 3, usually 1 to 2, and I hesitate to call it the Dorian style training because I'm not Dorian Yates, and I don't, you watch Dorian Yates' videos, the black and white training videos, I train nothing like that, but the basis of that is there, right? I'm putting all my intensity I'm trying to distill it into 1 or 2 sets. So the premise is the same. We didn't really do that much of that today because it was an arm day. That's the one exception where it's more of a pump. But yeah, generally my training is like that.
Your arms, you stay on the same. I know you said your chest was kind of buggy today, but do you stay on the same movements, or you would flop it around then? Like, whatever you feel like doing that day? Or...
Yeah, I would say that I do different. I have like a rotation of different movements that I do for each body part that I've just kind of found over the years work best for my body. I'm always looking for new exercises to try, but I'll structure it more like instead of like I'm going to do this exercise and this exercise, it's more like I have to hit this head and this head and this head, and I have this exercise or this exercise or this exercise for each head, and so I'll select it, by the muscle instead of the exercise. So I'll select the exercise with the. Does that make sense? I'll use the muscle as the primary decision maker.
What movements you do? No.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
3 heads of the delt.
Exactly. Yeah. So instead of.
To the front for rear.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that makes
So my primary focus is to hit all the muscle groups, and then I have like a bank of exercises for each muscle group in my mind. That's how I just kind of think of it, and it happens to work. Because a lot of guys I know like to kind of have an exact plan written out. I kind of just like to come in and freestyle a little bit. Like, I mean, I play within the bounds of the game, like I just said. I have these rules and then I'll follow them, but I like to be able to, use a little bit of creativity in my workouts.
Like number, like I'm going to do this many sets. This
Nope.
many reps. It's like
Nope. Yeah. I'll keep it like, yeah. It's. Yeah, I wouldn't say I put I don't put like a governor on my sets, like I don't like limit it. It's just like if I achieve the intensity that I want in the set, however many reps that takes, however much weight it takes, I just try and max out the intensity in those exercises.
Now you said you were kind of arm dominant. Did you just always have to be around?
Yep, always. Even before I started training, I was all arms and chest, always, which I'll take. But I mean, I'm still trying to even out my legs and my back to those body parts. So. It's a gift and a curse, I guess. I'm sure guys that don't have arms and chest want arms and chest, but again, I don't have a back. I'd like a back. So, it's you just want what you can't have. But
now, how long just so people who haven't seen your previous how long have you been training? And I mean, this was your first competition last year. Like, how long have you actually been training?
So I would say that I've been weight training for quite a long time. I mean, the goals have been different. I've probably been weight training for 10 to 12 years, but it's I have a background in lacrosse. I used to play lacrosse in college, and so it was a lot of training for function and for sport. Once I got out of college, and I kind of had a hole in my life where I needed to do something competitive. I started getting more into bodybuilding. I would say I've been training as a bodybuilder for maybe 3 or 4 years, and like actually doing it like as best that I can for about 2. And that, but by that I mean like just trying to nail my nutrition and my training and get everything together, because that's when you really see the growth, or at least that's when I did. So a couple years. Yep.
What did you major in?
I majored in psychology.
Psychology?
Yep. I was going to go into human resources. It was IO psych, so industrial occupational. It's like that's how I was going to spin it to be marketable. And then I realized that I cannot do cubicle life. I wish I could, but my brain is just not wired like that. I need to move around. I like using my hands, and it's just not for me.
Organized psychology is a very marketable degree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I had a professor who specialized in that.
Really, yeah. It's really interesting stuff, but and I love psychology. It's super. The brain is really interesting to me, and like behavioral patterns, why people do the things that they do. But yeah, it's just a normal 9 to 5 just doesn't. I'm just not built for it. I wish I was. I really do, but I'm not.
People would like to thank by themselves?
I would like to thank my parents. I'd like to thank my coach Jeremy and Team DeSantis. I'd like to thank everybody at Powerhouse. I'd like to thank you, Jeff, Powerhouse Fenton, for letting us do this all the time. This is awesome.